You know, Duncan, everybody is infatuated with the biggest of anything. And of course, the topic of the biggest whitetail, where's he going to come from, is something that we hear a lot about. And, you know, it can come from anywhere because we truly are living in the good old days of big buck hunting, and management has changed things. There are big bucks being produced all over the country now. And yet, I still think we got to lean toward the Midwest and Central Canada.
I have to agree. I have to agree, David. The Midwest, Iowa, Kansas, Ohio, Indiana's producing some big bucks. All the Midwestern states, Illinois, just year after year, giant bucks are coming out of Illinois. So I have to say Illinois is going to be, not Illinois, but the Midwest, somewhere in the Midwest is going to produce, likely to produce the next world record, typical and non-typical.
Well, tell me this. Kansas has the advantage of relatively low hunting pressure and large tracts of land. Illinois, I'm a little concerned about the age structure there. And you just play in the odds there, but you know, there's a lot of pressure in Illinois. It got a lot of Pike County, got a lot of publicity, a lot of pressure there. I'm not sure the age structure allows the odds to go in favor of Illinois. Now, Iowa, with the restrictive seasons they got, probably a little better age structure on the bucks there. But Kansas has large land holdings. And as a result of that, I think they're more mature bucks, which helps on the odds.
And one reason I like Kansas so much is because a lot of this free-roaming deer, they're not really managed that intensely like they are in other places, and yet they're still growing. These just big-bodied, big-antlered deer that are just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're big. But you can't take Canada out of the equation either, because those are big deer. And of course, the world record typical is currently from Saskatchewan, the Hanson deer. And what a buck he is. What that thing scored, 215?
213 and 5/8.
Yeah, 213 and 5/8. But you know, that deer was a freak, and in part was a world record because he was still young. Was it 4.5-year-old?
Some people said he was 3.5.
Yeah, but they had a shed from the previous year. I'm not sure that was a 2.5. Definitely Canada has to be a potential, and with the horn mass Canada produces, you have to figure they can produce giant non-typicals as well, because they've got giant non-typicals in the record books up there.
And it's happening, and there have been some 200+ inch typicals taken in Canada the last few years. You don't hear about a lot of the deer that are taken in Canada every year.
True.
People are kind of quiet, especially locals that hunt up there. But it could certainly do it. Giant body sizes, the biggest deer in the world, really.
They are. But you know, Texas is the home of intensive deer management, and I'm going to tell you what, Texas is producing some big deer. It also can't completely be counted out, but I think the body size on Texas, the frame size, the skeletal system, probably favors against Texas as being the home of the next world record. I've got to go back to the Midwest. And for me, I'm banking on Iowa. But you know, southern Wisconsin's pretty dang good too. But I'm still going with Iowa's the home of the next world record, typical. Now, where do you say?
David, I have to go with Kansas. I have seen some videos and trail camera photos, people taking bucks that have never been taken by hunters, that are world-class bucks that could easily score over 200 inches, yes.
Well, you know, a few years ago, didn't Nebraska have a world record typical walking around out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it did. We had, we get sheds off that deer, didn't we? And it would have been a new world record. So what that's saying is, anywhere in the Midwest as a candidate, you're picking Kansas, I'm gonna pick Iowa. Iowa produces some giants. Now, I like Ohio because I don't know what it is about Ohio for non-typicals that has produced these giants, because you look at Ohio, it doesn't have the ag base that you see out in Iowa and in Illinois, but man, they got big non-typicals, and the hole in the horn came from there. I'm betting on it to do it again.
It could certainly happen. The Amish buck came from Ohio, and that deer is a giant.
A monster.
And you know, some people have said that there were rumors that deer might have been a pen deer, but there were two sets of sheds found from that deer in far away places.
He was a wild deer.
Yeah, he was a wild deer. And you're right, Ohio could certainly do it, but David, I got to go back to Kansas for non-typical too. I have seen videos of 300+ inch non-typicals running around in Kansas.
Well, I'm going to be in Kansas this year, and I hope you're right, and I hope he shows up in front of my sock.
I hope so too.
Oh, he could be anywhere, but we're betting on the Midwest.